When you search for something on YouTube, you probably don't give too much thought to your keywords. You trust that Google is really smart and will eventually lead you to such awesome content as this. And if I change my search from Scrape YouTube to YouTube Scraper, I should get the same results, right? Well, not exactly. And this video is going to compare the raw search results to show you how much of a difference one little letter in your search can make. In my case, I'm top 10 for Scrape YouTube, but nowhere to be found for YouTube Scraper. It's like the YouTube search algorithm is ghosting me. Was it something I said? And if you're a fellow content creator or marketer, you know how important these search rankings can be. You can see a clear drop in my views and search ranking impressions from YouTube search over the past year. So in order to understand what's going on, I checked out Google Trends and I was asking, is there really a difference between Scrape YouTube and YouTube Scraper? And yes, it looks like there's more traffic or interest for YouTube Scraper versus YouTube Scrape. The difference literally being one is a noun and one is a verb. So my main question for this video is this only happening to me, or are there other videos who are bucketed into one of these search terms but not the other? What's the overlap rate between these two search terms for the organic YouTube search results? To get the data, I of course use the official YouTube data API. I'll link to it in the description. And as for my API client, I used my own scraping platform. That disclaimer is a paid service that I own. Link in the description if you want to get your own YouTube data and follow along with this video. I put in the two search terms and then got the combined results back. So each search term gives me about 600 results. And then I got the details for all of the videos and the almost 1,200 total results so we could check out the view counts for our analysis. All right, so we load up the combined search results into a Pandas data frame, and then we're going to split it out into two parts. One is going to be a data frame for the YouTube Scraper search results, and here are the top 5 that match what we saw on the website. And then here is a separate data frame that's going to show the results for Scrape YouTube, which also match what we saw on the website, and these results contain my videos. So if we scroll back up, we can see that 3 of the top 5 of these videos match. It seems like there's a pretty high overlap rate, right? Amongst the top 5 at least. Well, we need to look at all 600 for each of the 2 search queries and do a more formal analysis to see how many of those roughly 1,200 videos show up in both queries, meaning that they'll show up if I search for Scrape YouTube or YouTube Scraper. How, in my opinion, I think it should work. And in life, you don't always get what you want, because I can see here that only 37 videos show up in both queries. Here I can see that 547 only show up in Scrape YouTube and 531 only show up in YouTube Scraper. So here are the top 10 of those 37 videos I'm definitely not jealous of that show up in both queries. So what's so special about them? They have web scraping. One says Scrape Video, the verb form. One says Scrape Video, the verb form. A lot of them have both, so maybe that's a secret. You want to have both a verb and a noun in your title. But what bothers me more, though, are these last 2 results. After the 8th result, they look completely irrelevant. They don't even contain the word YouTube in the title, and they're leaving out very valuable videos like my own. So here are videos that only show up in the search query Scrape YouTube and not YouTube Scraper. You can see here that these are clearly very valuable videos for someone also searching for YouTube Scraper. They just don't show up. I'm not sure why. The titles, admittedly, I mostly use verbs here. These other ones use verbs, but some use web scraping. And I frankly don't think it should matter if you use a verb or a noun in your title. This one says YouTube Scraper, but it's still excluded from YouTube Scraper results and only shows up for the verb form. And we can do the same thing for the search term YouTube Scraper and see the videos that only show up if I type in the noun YouTube Scraper. So again, these videos would be valuable if I were looking for Scrape YouTube. It doesn't make a difference, and they're being excluded from those search results. I don't know why, and it doesn't seem right. So my last question is, of these 37 results that appear in both, are the ranks wildly skewed? E.g., does something rank very well for Scrape YouTube but ranks poorly in YouTube Scraper? So for each video, I'm plotting on the x-axis the search rank for Scrape YouTube and on the y-axis the rank for YouTube Scraper. I'm going to color them based on the difference in ranking. E.g., if there's a high offage in rankings, it'll be red. If there's a low offage, it'll be green, meaning it's consistent. And I'm going to size them by the view count of the video just for fun. And lo and behold, we can see of the 37 videos that appear in both, they are distributed basically across the whole spectrum. It's not only the first 5 results that are being shown in both, but up until 600, these videos are shown in both search results, and it's pretty consistent. It's a straight line, so something that ranks number 300 in Scrape YouTube is also 300 in YouTube Scraper. What boggles me, though, are these horizontal and vertical lines here parallel to the X and Y axes that show the videos that only show in one or the other, either Scrape YouTube or YouTube Scraper. You can see they're all over the place. Some have a ton of views and don't rank for both. It doesn't make any sense to me. So the good news, if you can call it that, is that this doesn't appear isolated to my own videos. There are a lot of other YouTube scraping videos that only show up for one search term, but not the other. So what this means for you as a content creator or searcher on YouTube is I would recommend trying both forms of a title, either a noun or a verb, because it seems that Google's advanced AI machine learning algorithms like to classify them differently. And I've also seen this behavior work similarly on Google Ads as well, where you want to bid for both nouns and verbs based on what you're selling and if you're a consumer, what you're trying to buy. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching until the end.